No, they're ignorant. That's ignorant.
All right, guys, welcome back to More Ignorance in Basketball. Now, we got 4 days until the trade deadline, and Suns are in a great spot. I mean, obviously, they're the number one seed, clearly the best team in the whole league, similar to where they were at last season. I think last season it was way more of an argument. I think the Clippers may have had their number if they were fully healthy. A fully healthy Lakers team is like, I don't think so, but a lot of people would argue that, and I think they had a fair argument. The Warriors weren't even a thing. And then a healthy Nets team, which will we ever see? Probably not. But, those are teams we had to worry about. Now it's pretty much just Golden State and a healthy Nets team. The Lakers have obviously been garbage all season. Who else? The Clippers probably never going to be healthy. The Mavericks, they look like they could be something, but doesn't matter. They're not favorites over the Suns. But I do think the Mavericks could be a problem. Like, if the Mavericks beat the Warriors, it wouldn't shock me at all. Same thing with the Grizzlies. So we'll see. But the question is, do you go with continuity or do you make a big trade? Now, I think they should do something in the middle and just make like a small trade. That way you keep the continuity. But let's be real. There are some people on this team who are expendable. Let's talk about it, because I see things in the NBA news. I can read. I have information too. So people are really saying like score off the bench, maybe some more shooting, or like a small ball five, right? I see the small ball five thing a lot. And the reason I don't think that's going to work is because, well, one, you have DA who can actually switch on pretty much any guard in the league and do at least a decent job. He'll contest. And you have JaVale who, if he knows the game plan, can guard, like, guards okay. Like, they're probably going to blow past him, but if they try to shoot over him, JaVale will block the shit out of you. So at least we got that. So if Steph Curry wants to do some bullshit dribble moves, JaVale can just stay there and let him go by you. Do whatever bullshit floater you want to do. That's fine. But you ain't hitting no three over him. So, and so you have that. And also, I'm like, if you have a small ball five that's for the playoffs, you're going to want to make sure that this player gets a lot of reps, right? Because if you're going small against the Warriors, small ball five, you're going to need to know what the fuck you're doing when it comes to switching and stuff. So it's like, I don't want some new guy who doesn't know, who's not used to the system yet, playing against like arguably one of the greatest offenses of all time. So I don't think the small ball five is really realistic. So the only thing I'm thinking you can do, right, is the backup two guard. I think that's really the only spot that's available, because Cameron Payne ain't going anywhere. I mean, like, maybe you want to trade for a better point guard off the bench, but number one, emotions are involved, and we're waiting to see the Disney movie end with the championship this season. That's number two. That's number one. And number two is, like, I think any point guard is the most important player on the floor, especially when it comes to that offense. So again, like, adding somebody new throughout the season that doesn't really know the system is like, I think that's a bit risky. But if you need somebody to just score, I feel like it's not that hard. Obviously, there's things to learn, but, scoring is scoring. So, Shamit, I'm so sorry, but I think your job is the only one that's up. Because, like, Cam Johnson ain't going anywhere. Who else? Maybe, like, a four, but, like a four coming off the bench. So, like, right now, coming off the bench, right, when everybody's healthy, we have Payne, Shamit, Cameron Johnson, JaVale McGee, and then the four, like, sometimes they'll have Nader in there, sometimes they'll have, who else, Sticks in there, but, like, if it's a big game, usually, they'll either have Devin or Chris running. So Cameron Johnson really is out the four if you want to use that. So I would say Shamit, aka Shovelhead, I think he's really the only person that's expendable. And I'm not saying you have to get rid of Shovelhead. I'm not saying he's unplayably bad or anything like that. Has he been great? No. Is this his worst shooting season of his career? Absolutely. But we're only halfway through, and I wouldn't be surprised if he ended up shooting 42% for the rest of the season. I really wouldn't. Maybe it takes a little longer for for him to figure out a couple of things, and he'll get better, hopefully. But I don't think he will. So I would say trade him. I saw a couple options. Let's go through the list. So here are the people that I think. Let's just get the Eric Gordon thing out the way because obviously people be talking about that. Now, thing with Eric Gordon, I trust him. People say he's not a great defender. Well, Shamit's got that covered, so we're good on that. But the money situation is a thing. I think Eric's making about like 18, 19 this year. Shellhead is making about 11. So it's not crazy. It's like 7 more. Maybe, obviously, the Rockets are going to want picks, right? So maybe you throw his sticks in there. I'm like, that's a bit of a risk because I feel like the Eric Gordon thing is probably only going to be for like a year, right? I mean, he's making like $20 million next year, but I'll say this, right? You throw Shovelhead in and you throw Saric, who's just, $10 million and he ain't doing anything. That's your Eric Gordon money right there. So maybe the Rockets will take a pick. Maybe they'll take sticks. I don't know. But I feel like that's not a bad deal. Like, let's go through. We got the player comparison. So Eric Gordon is playing 10 more minutes a game. And hell, with the Suns, he may earn some minutes. Like, he may end up... No, he wouldn't finish games because you're not going to take Mikal. You're not going to take Crowder out. Yeah, never mind. I was going to say maybe he'll, like, end games. You know how, like, they have, like, a 6-man who will end the games with the team, but I don't see that being the case. So, averaging 14 points a game, shooting 49% from the field compared to Shamit's 37, which is ass. And this is what I care about, 3-point percentage. 43 to Shamit's 35. 43 to Shamit's 35. Free throw, I mean, who really cares? 76 to his 85. Rebounding is about the same. Assists, he doubles his assists, but again, he gets more minutes. And, the plus minus is like, obviously, you're going to have a minus when you're playing on the Houston Rockets. So, and steals are about the same. Turnovers, he does average more turnovers, but, the ball will be in Chris Paul's hands, so won't be as big of a deal. Another thing I like about Eric Gordon, he's actually really good at being controlled when he drives in the lane because he's so damn big, he kind of just bumps people out of the way. So playing it against like a team like the Warriors, that'll be vital. We see Shamit try to dunk on people, but it doesn't work, hence the 37%. So somebody who can get to the free throw line, because that's kind of an issue with this team. They don't have anybody who's like amazing at getting to the line. Somebody who's just going to take you off the dribble all the time and drive in, like a Shea or like a Karis LeVert. He's another person I could see. I didn't put him on this list because I kind of just assume somebody is going to give Indiana something better than what the Suns have. I know a lot of people are after him. Same thing with Eric Gordon. I just see him associated with the Suns more, so I figured I'd talk about it. But, yeah. So we shall see. But yeah, I like what Eric Gordon would bring. And he's the most like explosive scorer that I'm talking about because it's always nice to have somebody who comes off the bench who could drop like 30 in a game. Now, in theory, Shamit could do that. But it's been half the season and he hasn't. So I'm just going to assume that he won't. And yeah, so obviously his shooting percentage from the field and from 3 is really good, so it's way better than Shamit, so I think he'd be a big help. And the money situation isn't crazy. I mean, honestly, with Shamit and Dario, it makes it up right there. And maybe you give him a pick, maybe you give him sticks, we shall see. Now, this is somebody I haven't heard anybody talk about yet. Alec Burks. Now, here's the thing. Because I know, like, continuity and synergy and all that stuff is very important with a team, and I know that there are a lot of people who can rub people the wrong way on this team, right? So, when I watch a basketball game with my team, I think about everything. So, I'm weary, I don't know. I'm a little cautious about adding like a lot of veterans to this team just because maybe they don't want to hear Chris Paul bitching at them all the time. Maybe they don't want to hear Crowder calling them all different types of bitch or however he talks to people, So maybe Alec Burks can't handle that. I don't know. I've never met the man. But that is one thing I like about a Landry Shamet. He's not going to be talking back to anybody. You know, he knows he's not very good. Burks, I don't know. But when you look at the numbers, he would be an improvement. And I put him on here because, one, again, he's like a 2 guard that I could see coming off the bench, obviously. But the Knicks are interested in trading him. So, you know, why not come on over to Phoenix? And the money is about the same. I think Alec makes about 10, Shaman's making about 11, so it shouldn't be that difficult of a swap there. So, again, Alec is averaging a little more minutes, like 7 more minutes a game. Their field goal percentage is about the same. Alec is 1% higher, but the 3-point percentage, that's all I really care about. That's all you really got to do on this team is just stand in the corner, hit open threes, play decent defense. It's not that hard of a position. That's why I'm like, okay, James Jones, you talk about building from within, and I love that, and I'm all for that. But you said the same thing last season, and maybe if you had made a small trade for McGee, you'd have a ring. Just saying. But shooting almost 40% from 3, that's exactly what this team needs. Free throw percentage is about the same, and money's about the same. So, and I assume he's probably a little bit better of a defender just because Shamet is definitely below average. But it's like you don't have to be a lockdown defender when you're the 2 guard coming off the bench, you know. We're not looking for Tony Allen. And plus minus, I'm not looking at that because your team is ass. So a little better. He's a better rebounder. Assists a little better. I mean, he plays more minutes. So turnovers is probably about the same when you take minutes. Steals is higher a little. And, I mean, blocks 0.1, 0.3, who gives a shit. So there's that. And then last guy on the list, Kenrich Williams. First off, I just have to get this out of the way because honesty is important. Hate your haircut. It looks like you have a platypus's ass on the back of your neck, and it's not a good look, but I could see it working. So, again, I don't imagine Kenrich is making that much money, so I'm sure you can make the money work. I know OKC is open for business, so I could see this happening. And again, their numbers are similar, but this guy is slightly better. So minutes are about the same, right? Points a little bit lower, but I'm always looking at percentages. So he's shooting 45% from the field compared to Landry's 37. I will repeat again. Fuck, that is terrible. And 3-point field goal percentage, 37 to 35. It's not that much higher, but it's enough. That's right where I think you want them to be. And he's also a little taller. He's like 6'6". I think Landry is probably like 6'4". I've seen him in person, as some of you know. He's not that tall. So, I mean, like for an NBA player, obviously he's way taller than me. But, you know, I could see this being a better fit. Now, free throw percentage, 52%. That will make me think twice. I don't know. That's pretty bad, but like, how often is this man really getting to the line? You know, it's not like he's going to be ending games and they're going to be doing fucking hack at Kenrich Williams. So I think they'll be all right. But I do like somebody who, again, can create their own shot, can drive, which this guy can do. The field goal percentage, the free throw percentage is kind of ass. So, you know, we'll see. Oh, I just got a Bleacher Report update. Let's see. Did the trade happen? Oh, shit. The Cavs just traded Karis LeVert. See, I told you he was going to go somewhere else. So I didn't bring him up. So there's that. Let's just read it live since we're experiencing this together. Dude, okay. Can you tell me for who? Woj? No, he didn't say. He just said he's been traded. Okay, well, I guess fuck the other people then, right? You're not important. So, I think that's it. So, again, the small ball 5, I just don't see it happening just because of playing time. It's like, how is this dude going to get minutes? I do like the idea of a Muscala on OKC because he can spread the floor. He shoots in the high 30s. He's not going to be some lockdown defender, but my thing is now, it's like, if you really want to go small ball 5, just play Cam at the 5. You may as well, right? Like, I could see you ending a lineup like that. You got Chris Paul, Devin, Crowder, McHale, Cam Johnson. I know he's not like some lockdown defender, but you have enough good perimeter defenders where I think it'll, help, where it'll make up for it. or you could just play DA because he's not bad at switching. I think for now is your only like realistic options. Like you could say Sticks, but like, do we trust him like in the finals? Probably not, unless you got a big ass lead. you know, Bismack, he's not like an amazing perimeter defender. He's definitely gonna try, but it's not like he's gonna be spreading the floor. You know, that's kind of the whole point of a small ball five. So I think Cam is probably your best bet. You could do Wainwright, but like he hasn't really gotten enough minutes, and I was like, are we gonna trust him in the finals? Probably not. I think Cam has improved. Well, I know he's improved as a perimeter defender, and he's not small. He's like, what, 6'8"? He's got long arms, and he's sneaky athletic. So I think when it comes to small ball five, that's probs your best bet. So you guys let me know if there's anybody else that you're eyeing, because I am always curious. And I'll see you guys after the next game. Peace.